Welcome to another episode of the NFC South versus the NFL. This one of your hosts, DJ, no Twitter handle.
And it's your boy Mike Ricks. Keep pounding.
And it's your boy TJ Jones. All I gotta say is who that?
We trying to figure that out. Anyway, with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to Charlotte, coming out of Charlotte to defeat the Carolina Panthers 20-14 in it was an ugly game, rain delay. It looked like we were in Tampa.
Right.
This is something we see in September in Tampa, a rain delay, but it's a Thursday night, short week, second week of the season. You just want to come out there with a win, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers were able to pull it out. Hey, I'm going to give it to TJ first because the one not biased person here. What did you see?
What I seen, I'm gonna be honest. This game was boring. Like I'm gonna start it off with that. Wasn't a really exciting game. Just I guess you can say Gerald McCoy coming back. I mean Gerald McCoy playing for his former team. You can tell like this game actually meant a lot to him. I seen him like getting into it with the offensive linemen. Those two getting into it. I think the storyline got to be coming out of this game was the health of Cam Newton. He just not look right in this game. I don't know what's going on with Cam Newton, but man, it's about that time, Carolina. It's about that time to try to find yourself another quarterback because the way that Cam Newton has been playing, the inconsistency, the inaccuracy that he's been playing with is really alarming and concerning. The defense did an outstanding job. What can you say about Luke Kuechly, who was all over the field? What he had, like 17 tackles in this game? I mean, just unbelievable stuff. Man, Christian McCaffrey, I think you got to start crowning him as one of the best running backs in the National Football League. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man, Jameis Winston, people were talking about him, criticizing him, talking about can he be able to actually play at a high level. I've seen a couple throws by Jameis Winston, especially at that pass to Mike Evans. I think they hooked up maybe in the second quarter. It was a really good pass, probably one of the best passes I've seen Jameis Winston throw in quite some time. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I think, with Bruce Arians as their head coach, Ty Bowles as the defensive coordinator, I think they did an outstanding job, man, trying to load the box, trying to shut down Christian McCaffrey. They did a good job with that. And that last play of the game, man, that sealed the deal. I mean, what can you say about that? That was a good goal line stance. So gotta say congratulations to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think that they just proved to the national audience that they are a team that is capable of beating any team on any given Sunday, or in this case, any given Thursday.
Hey, you said it,
DJ. I'm gonna let you go last since your team won. For real, I'm gonna give you the last words on that. I want to say congratulations to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Todd Bowles, I have much respect for you as a coach, man. The game plan you put together, I thought, the adjustments, I should say, was really, really good, especially that second half. You put the heat. Jameis, I'm going to give that credit to Byron Leftwich. A friend of mine compared Jameis coming out of college to Byron Leftwich. So Byron Leftwich actually knows his limits, this and that, and he limited Jameis to a point to where he couldn't make too many mistakes, which was the proper thing to do. Make his throws quick, decisive, and run the ball. Consistently run the ball, regardless if you're getting negative yards, run the ball. because eventually you're going to break. I believe they ran the ball 31, 32 times, something like that. Jameis only had about 25 attempts. You know, that's my type of football. I love that type of football. So to me, it was an exciting game. I don't want to see 52 to 49 scoring. I don't like that kind of ball. I like defense, hard-nosed, hitting football, and that's what this was. It was a slugfest. Yes, it was ugly. We kind of predicted that it was going to be like this. But I am going to say this, though. I watched this game from Thursday to the day. Probably it was the condensed version, and I'm not exaggerating. I've probably watched this game 20 times or more. And I wanted to make sure that I took in everything that happened. Cam Newton got lit up in this game. Every time he dropped back, he was almost under duress, especially the second half. Cam Newton had, I want to say, 4 incompletions in the first half. He was very accurate in that first half. He had one drop pass by Jarius Wright, was throwing that ball. He had one that he kind of overshot Olsen on the sideline, but he was very, very accurate. Then they came out and Todd Bowles started saying 6, 7, 5, 6, 5, and they were teeing off on him. They were all legal hits, but they were teeing off on him. When you have a guy that got 3 sacks and nobody, I mean, you're talking about next-gen stats of having some of the fastest sack times of being hit. Vita Vea was coming in, hitting pressure. When I tell you, every single pass that he threw, almost, he was under duress. So a lot of those passes that may have looked like they were just long and going all over the place, it was because he was coming like this and he couldn't move. For some reason, he couldn't move. He wasn't agile. He wasn't able to move. And I think they saw that. And Todd Bowles was like, we about to make this guy suffer because he can't roll out and move outside that pocket and throw the ball. So whenever he got that pass and tried to draw back, somebody was hitting him and it was throwing the ball off, hitting him and throwing the ball off, hitting him and throwing the ball off. I'm going to say some numbers here and then I'm going to leave it alone. Anytime that you have Cam Newton throw the ball more than 50 times, that's a recipe for disaster. Christian McCaffrey ran the ball 16 times. First half, I think he ran it, I want to say the first 2 drives. They were moving up and down the field with ease. He ran the ball probably about, out of his 16 times, probably 7 times. We went on a stretch between the second and third quarter where he barely touched the ball at all because you had a play or 2 that didn't get yards. You have to stick with the running game if you're the Carolina Panthers. That's the way we play football. Cam Newton, and I'm going to read off some numbers very quickly. Cam Newton had 51 attempts, 25 completions, 7 misses, and he had 11 immediate pressure incompletions, meaning as soon as he got the ball, he was getting rocked. He had 5 throwaways. He had 2 drop passes, and then he had some questionable non-calls. There were 2 potential pass interferences, but we're not.
Don't talk to me about no non-call. Don't talk to me about no non-call, please. Please.
So that's why I'm not going to bring that up, but it is what it is. So with that being said, honestly, Cam didn't really play a terrible game. I'm going to show you where the game was lost at. In the trenches. Point blank, period. That offensive line and those tackles could not block to save their life. Because if they could, C-Mac would have had a much better game. If they could, Cam Newton would have had a much better game. And I have to give you props, DJ. You talked about somebody by the name of Vita Vea, and I didn't know much about him, and I said I have to see it for myself. Well, guess what? The guy showed his ass in Carolina, and he pressure and pressure and pressure right up the middle. And the best way to throw a quarterback off is to do what? Pressure him up the middle. Because then he has nowhere to go, and then you got that pressure on the outside. Recipe for success. And I believe that was part of the reason why they didn't quarterback sneak Cam. But I don't give a darn. If you got 6'5", 250-pound quarterback, all you got to do is snap and lean, and you're going to get them inches. But kudos to Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Y'all deserve to win. That's all I'm going to say. Y'all deserve that win. But Byron Leftwich does get props because he managed Jameis very well.
I want to first shout out my two co-hosts for that elegant review of the game. That touched about just about everything I want to talk about. Just like you were saying with the Panthers, Mike, interior pass rush, which I was telling you about all offseason, was going to be a problem with Sue and Vita Vea coming through that. And I don't know why everybody's so shocked that William Golston looks so much better in this scheme, but I wasn't.
No.
William Golston is a different player this year. He is a 5 technique. I mean, this guy is, 6'7", like 280, and I mean, long arms. And he always played better as a 3 technique than he did as a defensive end in a 4-3. None of this is surprising to me that he's playing a lot better being in a 5 technique 3-4. Our 3-4, I mean, it's something to watch. Shaq Barrett, you already mentioned it, 3 sacks. I mean, this dude could have probably had 5-6 easily. Cam Newton to get rid of that ball a little quicker than he did. And I think me and Mike were touching Cam Newton. I think we already kind of hit a lot on him. I text Mike, I think it was the second quarter, when that 4th and 1 happened, and he tried to lunge for that first down and not really try to go get it. I said it right then and there, something's wrong with Cam Newton. And ever since after that play, it was open season because Todd Bowles must have saw the same thing I saw.
Yes.
We mentioned it. Man, he started going in. Shout out to Vernon Hargraves, 12 tackles. Hey, you played a hell of a game, and that goal line stop. I mean, he played the run good. I mean, obviously you got to watch out. He's a very aggressive corner. Almost got beat on that. Cam could have put a little more juice on it, but I think he was getting pressure up the middle, and he couldn't get all of it on it. When he threw it to Curtis Samuel, was able to make that makeup. Once again, that's defense affecting the play. So kudos to Todd Bowles. Shout out to Peyton Barber.
Yes.
Grind the middle. He just kept on grinding it out. Finally got that touchdown. What was that, in the third, fourth quarter, putting us up. And shout out to Chris Godwin. Nobody's really talking about him too much. Mike Evans, for the most part. Bradbury. Continue to do what he does against Mike Evans. He had that one long catch for 43 yards. I still think Mike Evans isn't 100% yet. But Chris Godwin had a hell of a game. I think, 10 catches, somewhere around there for 100-something yards. Or 10 targets or something like that. 8.
Well, he had 9 targets for 8 catches.
I knew it was something around there. Hell of a game. Outside of that, I basically said everything else. Shout out to the interior of our line, Ali Marpet, Alex Kappa, and Ryan Jensen. Y'all played that. That's the type of game. That's what we paid Ali Marpet and Ryan Jensen for. But those edges, Donovan Smith, you got your money, man. I don't know footwork. Your footwork so far, 2 games, it's not been good. And DeMar, I don't know if we're seeing the end of you. They bought that boy Hankinson. It's gonna be interesting to see how much longer he'll be playing. But that interior line is definitely exciting me. That's gonna help with continue that running game and maybe taking some pressure off the edges because right now the tackles are looking kind of suspect. Shout out to Jameis Winston, no turnovers. I mean, everybody's making mention to it. I guess I gotta say it too. I don't think I need to, but you managed the game. I mean, I wish you didn't really use that word at the end of the game, but yeah, you did manage the game. There wasn't much you really needed to do because of Cam Newton not being able to put that pressure to make him have to really make more difficult throws than Jameis had to make. But yeah, my boys won 1-1 on
Right.
top of the NFC South currently. But hopefully we can keep this going. We got the Giants next. Boom. Leave it at that.
I want to throw a couple more shout outs out there. DJ, I watched because I said I watched this game 20 plus times, so I've seen every level of this game. Ali Marpet, you've been telling me about him for a long time, man. When I tell you that joker there is really, really good and nasty, and Jensen, man, that they got in Gerald's head, which was a huge penalty because y'all went down, I believe, and scored. But That interior line that you all have is really good. Those tackles are trash, but the interior line, our tackles are trash. That interior line part was really good. Trey Turner, that's one guy on my line I'm going to give props to because Ndamukong Suh didn't do anything. He did recover a fumble, but he didn't do. I'm telling you, this guy had him on smash pretty much. He was strong. He's nasty. And Greg Olsen is still the best tight end in the NFC South. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Don't get me wrong. O.J. Howard. Milk Carton. O.J. Howard, where are you? I don't know if that's the play calling. He didn't get a target that game. He got to be brought. I don't know. I think they're slowly bringing that offense on. I'm hoping we catch fire somewhere in the middle of the season. That defense going playing like they are. Hey, the offense could be mediocre, and I'm cool with that. But moving on to dang man, if I could put that Michael Jordan crying face on TJ right now, I would. Unfortunately, New Orleans Saints fall like the Panthers did the week before to the Rams, 7-9. Not a single. Oh, Drew Brees. Damn. As we all know, if you're a fan of the NFC South, Drew Brees tore ligaments in his finger. Looks like he's going to be out, 8 weeks or 6 to 8 weeks?
Yeah, something like that.
Wow. I'm not even going to start this off, man. I felt bad when I saw it. Damn. Yeah, I'm not even going to start this one off. Go ahead.
I'll start off. I'll be happy to start this one off. Drew Brees is one of my all-time favorite players. So I hate to see this happen to him. But I will say this. I thought, how can I say this? The Saints offensive line got abused this entire game. Aaron Donald did what he wanted to do. That's why Drew Brees got hurt. Clay Matthews was out there looking like vintage Clay Matthews. They had a couple other guys. I don't remember their names. But when I tell you it started in the trenches, it started in the trenches. That defensive line was putting pressure and pressure and pressure all on the quarterbacks. Running game didn't really ever get a chance to get off, had some flashes here and there. But ultimately, there were a lot of drop passes that I was really shocked about. And it could have been because Drew Brees, they were shocked because Drew Brees was out and then they had Teddy. But what I did see from this that should be encouraging, even though I think if Drew Brees would have played, the Rams would have won. I just think that they were the better team that day at home. Some time with a game plan, a whole week to prepare with Teddy Bridgewater. I actually think they're going to be much better than what I thought. I watched the game again the day before we got on, and he wasn't terrible by far. And I think because they weren't used to him, they're going to get used to him preparing, and Sean Payton's just this amazing coach that he's going to prepare for that they're going to be okay offensively. Now, there was a play that happened, and TJ, I know you're going to talk about this, and maybe it's just the Saints' curse when Jared Goff went to make a pass, and I can't remember. It might have been Davenport. No, it was
Trey Henderson.
Okay. Came and tried to hit the ball or something. I think he hit his arm or something like that, and the ball kind of just pushed out. And Cameron, and I know because I got Cameron on my fantasy, so I was like, yeah, they got me a touchdown. Woo! I was geeked up, right? But I kept hearing whistle, 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 whistle. And they called it incomplete. Then they went and overturned it to a fumble. But at that point, you can't advance it, so they had to get the ball. that another play, it seemed like it was deja vu, that cost them possibly the game. I wouldn't say cost them the game, but it changed the momentum. They had plenty of time, but it was a big play. And at that point, I don't think they scored. They ended up having a punt or something like that. But I did see a play that happened before then, and it was a screen to Robert Woods. And I thought that was the weakest block in the back call that I've probably seen all season. And if they didn't make that call, then play doesn't happen. So I don't necessarily want to hear, this game, this and that, blah, 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 because Robert Woods scores, touchdown, they're kicking the ball off. That play doesn't happen during that time. But I will say this. Brandon Cooks, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods was eating. They were eating on that secondary. I saw poor effort. I don't know who 26 and 25 is when Cooper Kupp almost ran that touchdown. I guess they thought Lattimore was going to go ahead and make the tackle, but Cooper Kupp stiffed on him, gave him one of them stiff arms and got off of him. But Robert Woods was down there blocking everybody. So they stopped and slowed up, and then they want to speed up once they see Lattimore couldn't make the tackle, and Robert Woods just makes another block. That secondary is, I gotta see more. I just gotta see more.
I mean, before TJ, because I know TJ probably got a lot to say with this game. The one thing that I'm paying attention to, I mean, obviously, you don't want to continue to feel like the refs, you're working against the refs, which I know a lot of Saints fans, I got a lot of Saints fam, it's called family, that, you know, they just feel like when every time something like this happens, they're going to lose. And I feel like the players feel that same way. And it's, you know, it's something that I'm paying attention to. I hear so much of it. The mental toughness of this team, to me, is in question a little bit. Every time something goes wrong, you know, are you guys going to just give up? Like, you know, like, I know there's ebbs and flows in every game, but I mean, I know there's things that happen to the Saints that seem like it stands out more than everybody else. I get it. But, I mean, you're talking about winning a Super Bowl this year. I mean, you're talking about the window closing. You got to get past that stuff. I mean, and find a way to just win. I mean, I know Drew Brees, that's huge, leaving that game. You know, that fumble, no fumble, whatever you want to call it, blown dead. Those are two big things that happened in that game that you can really point to and be like, yeah, you get a mulligan for this game because, you know, that's, you know, whatever. But that mental toughness is something that, do they got it? That's my question.
Yeah, I don't know, T. I'm gonna let you go, but I really believe either way, by watching the game, the Rams were gonna win that game.
Rams were the better team that day.
That's what I'm saying. They were the better team that day. They were gonna win that game even if Drew was playing. But TJ, we're gonna give you the floor the next 30 minutes.
I don't even have to talk that long. I'm gonna just say this. I think the Rams wouldn't have won this game because if you look at when the Rams rallied, it was basically late in the third quarter when they started to score all 8 points. It was a defensive struggle. At halftime, the score was 6-3. So do you honestly believe that the Rams would have been able to shut down Drew Brees and, you know, their whole entire quarter? I don't believe that. I mean, you can even just say they were driving the ball down the field on the first drive. I mean, Jared Cook, he just ended up getting hit by Eric Weddle. The ball popped up in the air, and it was an interception. So they were driving the ball downfield anyway. This game would have been competitive, but I think the Saints would end up winning this game. Here's the issue with the New Orleans Saints. I'm going to answer your question, DJ. You said, do they have mental toughness? They absolutely have mental toughness, because if they didn't have mental toughness going into the game against the Houston Texans in the first half, when the referees gave a 10-second runoff, not only was it a 10-second runoff? It was more like a 16-second runoff. They went into the half 14-3, and they ended up rallying in the second half to win that game. You think about the Minnesota Miracle. I mean, this past season they had a 13-3 record and a chance at the Super Bowl. So a lot of people was asking, do they have mental toughness? Could they be able to bounce back from Minnesota? Could they be able to bounce back from this NFC Championship game, man? I mean, the last time we seen this team with Drew Brees as their starting quarterback, minus the game on Sunday versus the Rams, they rallied and they showed that they actually have mental toughness. I think when you're dealing with a quarterback like Drew Brees, who takes about 99% of the snaps in practice, and when you taking the first team reps versus a backup quarterback that just gets come in the game all late, and a guy that probably didn't think that he was going to play at all. I mean, you got to look at the fact that Drew Brees hasn't missed anything but 3 games since he's been with the New Orleans Saints, and one is due to injury. The 2 games that he missed outside of the injury was they wrapped up home field advantage and they had the number 1 seed. So, I mean, Drew Brees has been the one constant with this team. So nobody really, paid attention to Teddy Bridgewater that much, or possibly could have thought that he would have been put in this position. When you're dealing with a new quarterback coming into the game, understanding quarterback's tendencies when it comes to the offensive line, the way that he throws the ball versus how Drew would throw the ball. I mean, all of that has to come into play. I think you're going to see a different Teddy Bridgewater next week. The offensive line, this was one of the worst games that they played. I think that they were getting whooped up front. I think that a lot of people were dejected. I'm gonna be honest with you. Losing Drew Brees, I think that towards the end of the game, the reason why the game started to get ugly, because I think the team just realized that Teddy Bridgewater wasn't going to get them that win that day, so they probably just kind of phoned it in. That's just my honest opinion on that. But I mean, the fact of the matter is, I'm not going to sit up here and be all upset and talk about Drew Brees, because honestly, I don't feel like Drew Brees is just everything with the New Orleans Saints. I just feel like people outside of the organization that watches it think that he is their everything. If you looked at the last 6 games of last season, when they lost to the Dallas Cowboys, Drew Brees did not play his best football, and the defense was the reason why they were winning games. It wasn't so much Drew Brees. It was the running game was the reason why they were winning games, not Drew Brees. So I think that a lot of people aren't giving the New Orleans Saints as a collective unit credit for the success of the team, because I guess it's so easy for people to look at Drew Brees, because Drew Brees has been that quarterback that, no matter how bad the Saints defense is, no matter how down they are in games, he's the guy that can actually rally them back. I'm still saying that the Saints going to win this division. I still think that the Saints are going to win the majority of the games that a lot of people don't think that they're going to win. I think they're going to beat Seattle. But, I mean, that's just my honest opinion. I don't think that is over. I think people think that it's over, but it's not. I mean, you can call me naive, but I've watched this team for so many years, and I've seen this team go through too much adversity to believe that they're just actually going to phone it in because their Hall of Fame quarterback is not at the helm. I think that Teddy Bridgewater do a good job. And if he's not doing a good job, I think that you got to look at Sean Payton, who is going to do everything in his power for the team to be successful. So if Teddy Bridgewater is not getting the job done, trust and believe, you're going to see a lot more Taysom Hill. I think you're going to see a combination of those two. And with that, teams are going to have issues dealing with both of those guys, because they're not going to know if Taysom Hill is going to throw the ball or run it, and they don't know what Teddy Bridgewater is going to bring to the table. You're going to see a different team, and I think they're going to shock a lot of people.
That's one way to be optimistic. I just know this. The Rams aren't a great run defensive team, and they've never have been. And I think y'all ran the ball probably average a little over 2 yards a carry. Right now, the defense is what you're banking off of, is giving up roughly about 27, 28 points per game so far this season. Could easily be 0-2. But because of my opinion, Drew Brees' ability to make quick decisions is what created opportunity for you to win the first game. And who knows what would have happened. You're right. I think Drew Brees only played like 1 or 2 drives or something like that. But if the line, I think that pressure, I know that pressure was coming even before he got hurt. That's the reason why he got hurt, was because that line was getting whooped. That could be fixed. I'm not saying every line is going to play like the Rams line. And I do think that y'all are going to be better than what you displayed the other day. You're not going to go blank where you're not going to score any touchdowns. But we'll talk about the game in Seattle coming up. This stretch that you all have isn't going to be easy, especially with Seattle, and you got arguably the best team in the NFC next in Dallas Cowboys. And then you got a very pass rush heavy defensive team in Tampa. And we need to see what Teddy's going to be like under that pressure. Drew Brees, I think, would be much better because he makes quicker, decisive decisions to get rid of that ball. We're going to see. We're going to see. But you're right. You got Sean Payton there still. So as long as you got Sean Payton, you should have an opportunity to win. But let's not forget Sean Payton had a couple of them 7-9 seasons too.
Yeah, but I mean, it was the fact that they didn't have a defense. You know, I mean, their defense hasn't really been playing up to snuff. But in all honesty, they have a much better defense than people are giving them credit for. I mean, the game was like 6-3. The game was there for the taking. I mean, they just didn't capitalize on it. And as far as what you was talking about with the running game, I think that we all can agree if you're watching that game, there was a lot of man coverage being played in that game. They basically loaded the box, and they basically dared Teddy Bridgewater to throw the football. I just don't think that he was prepared for this game. I think that Sean Payton just kind of, Sean Payton wasn't really fully prepared for Teddy Bridgewater to be in this game. So I think that was one of the reasons why they were able to stop the run the way that they did, because they didn't count on Teddy Bridgewater beating them. They didn't know if Teddy Bridgewater had what it took. And you have to say, on that particular day, he did not. I mean, if you can't see that they were just basically doing man coverage and they were just basically trying to stop Alvin Kamara, then I don't know what to tell you. But I think you'll see a different Teddy Bridgewater. And I'm going to just be honest. Like I said, I know Sean Payton, he's capable of putting these guys in the best position. And he's not afraid to go out there and try to make changes in order to make this team better. So Teddy Bridgewater is not getting the job done. Trust and believe. He is going to make sure that somebody is there. But like I said, I think you're going to see a combination of Teddy Bridgewater and Taysom Hill, because from what I heard, according to sources, they're both going to be taking first-team snaps. So you're probably going to see both of those guys in the game at one particular time. So
it's smart.
All right. Moving on. All right. The last matchup of that night, so Sunday night, we had the Atlanta Falcons versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The Falcons squeaked out a win 24-20 over the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles did everything in their power to try to give the Falcons this game. I think. I mean,
bias.
I'm gonna just leave it at that. Carson Wentz is, oh my God, overrated. But nah, they played a really good game. They got a lot of pressure. That defense played very well. Once again, I'm at to eat my own words when it came to Desmond Trufant. He's playing a hell of a season. So far, these last 2 games, he's definitely been the best corner, at least in the South, probably in the league. I do see them running a lot of man coverage out there. I mean, he's looking like that player that I questioned for a long time. I like what I see out of him. And shout out to Devonta Freeman. I mean, he definitely looked like he's back to the form that he was brought into the Eagles. I mean, Jesus Christ, the Falcons he's running really well. And I like to see that. I mean, for how much I don't like the Falcons, I am a Freeman fan. Catching the ball, running between tackles. He got that same burst he used to have back in the day. I mean, I like what I saw out of him. Calvin Ridley, like he had a hell of a game, and Julio Jones still just he just got down the block and just took off, and we're off. Boom!
Crazy.
That boy was gone. I mean, good God.
Crazy.
Julio still
Crazy.
got it. Was it their first round pick? Dang, that man, he can't catch a break.
Yeah.
What was it? He hurt. What was it? Ankle? Was it this time? Seeing him crawl on that ground, man, I ain't gonna lie. Like, once again, I don't like the Falcons. Watch him. He worked hard to get back on that field. And for him to go down the way he did, dang, that was hard to watch. But we still got the win. Shout out to y'all. I mean, like I said, overall, I think Falcons altogether look good. That game, but I don't even want to talk about the Eagles because Eagles, Eagles lost to Sean Jackson that game. All Sean Jeffrey. Wentz he went out for a little bit, but came back when he saw Luke McCown look like he was about to take them boys into the end zone. He was like, "Nah, I'm coming in," and we all know what happened after that. They had to settle for a field goal because Wentz is overrated. But I'm just gonna leave it at that. And yeah, congratulations, Falcons, 1-1, tied up.
I'll go ahead, TJ. Just look on your face, man. Just look on your face.
Now, y'all know how I feel. Like I'm extremely biased. I do not like the Atlanta Falcons. So you will not get any type of I don't know. I'm the most. I will say I'm biased against the Atlanta Falcons. I do not like their fan base. I'm just gonna be honest. Like,
I'm gonna say congratulations on the win. Like the old cliche saying, good teams find a way to win games, bad teams find a way to lose games. But with that being said, Jesus. I'm trying, y'all. I am really trying here not
for
to.
Real. It's just something about the Falcons, man. Like, for real. Like, I can tolerate every other team in this division. I just can't stand the Falcons. I can't.
And you know what? I don't have a problem with the Falcons, to be real. I like Atlanta, and the reason why I like Atlanta is for other reasons. I like I like the prices of their food and their stadium. I'm trying to find positivity here, because I'm gonna tell you something. I thought, and I'm gonna be real with you, man. I thought Philadelphia lost this game, and that Atlanta didn't win it. But you found a way to win the game, so I'm gonna give you credit. The running game I thought was horrible. Devonta Freeman carried the ball 11 times for 22 yards. That is not gonna get the job done. It's not
like look.
He did catch the ball out of the backfield, which was pretty good. But if you're banking on Matt Ryan to drop back and try to throw the ball like he's been doing 40, 50 times or whatever, guaranteed Matt Ryan's going to get toe up, lit up, and he's going to throw quite a few interceptions. He was just throwing the ball. Anyway, I'm going to just throw it in double coverage. It didn't matter. That's why he had 3 interceptions.
I was about to say, didn't he have 3 interceptions?
Yeah. And I
in the red zone.
In the red zone, yeah, you can't make those kind of plays, man. If you're supposed to be the elite quarterback, as Stephen A. Smith would always say, Matt Ryan. Don't forget they got Matt Ryan in the division. He loves us some Matt Ryan, but Matt Ryan looked like, instead of Matty Ice, he looked like Matty Melt. Great thing about Matty Melt is that he has Julio, and Julio is, oh my gosh, man. You talking about somebody that you can just put the ball up most of the time and he just gonna make a play. I'm gonna let you talk about that screen, TJ, if you want to. but I'm going to briefly say it. To take the ball, man, I ain't seen nobody hit a hole that fast in a long time.
For real.
That was
I'll give him that.
He caught the
Y'all
ball.
see that twist tap that he did on the sideline too?
Man, it was
That
crazy.
was amazing. Like,
It's absurd how good this guy is. And that's why I've always felt like he was the best receiver in the league, because he's fast, he's big, he's strong, he can run every route, he has excellent hands. And then you add a young Calvin Ridley who's out there catching 8 out of 10 passes, getting a $105 or something like that, scoring a touchdown, big plays. Man, look.
that boy Burst is special too, though.
And he runs good, man. I'm telling you, man. They've placed now. The O-line got banged up, so I'm gonna give Matt Ryan that. He takes some hits, but they've given Matt Ryan weapons upon weapons since he's been in Atlanta. And I'm gonna be real. That defense, they did decent. They got 2 interceptions. True Font is by far really, 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 really good corner. And I want to give a shout out to Isaiah Oliver. I've been looking for you to really make a play. You made a huge play on 4th down at the end of the game when you tackled Zach Ertz when he got 9.5 yards. So congratulations to you. Big Beasley, congratulations to you, son. You got yourself a sack. Jack McKinley made some good play. Grady Jarrett is doing Grady Jarrett. He's one of the few Clemson guys that I think D linemen that come out and can play some ball.
Grady Jarrett, he's really good.
I do think that you all squeak to win, and that's all you need to do. If you can find ways to win football games, you can go very far in this league. So I don't want to completely down y'all because you came out with a victory. Good job. You went home. You took care of your dirt. That's what you're supposed to do. Took care of your dirt. But y'all got to improve that running game.
Yeah, but look, I just like the way Devonta Freeman overall just looked, because he didn't look like he had that anymore. But it was more in the passing game than running, obviously. But that one down the sideline that he caught, that was one that really I saw that I was like, all right, there goes Devonta Freeman that I used to know.
Gotcha.
But, yeah. I know TJ's just like, why are we still talking about this? He looking at this joint like, I mean, like I said,
look, they got the win. Julio Jones, that's somebody I actually like. You know, I mean, coming out of Alabama, I mean, I've been watching this guy since he was like a high school All-American. Yeah. So I mean, he's an incredible athlete. Calvin Ridley is another guy who's incredible, man. Another Alabama guy. But to be honest with you, man, like y'all said earlier, I don't know who said it, but the Philadelphia Eagles did everything in their power to give these guys this game on a silver platter. Okay, Carson Wentz probably played one of his worst games I've seen in a long time. No Deshaun Jackson, no Alshon Jeffries. Like, come on, man. Like, who is he gonna throw the ball to? I mean, Nelson Aguilar missed a wide open catch, man. You know, like, I mean, they basically gave them the game. So the Atlanta Falcons, as far as I'm concerned, you know, I mean, they got the victory. Don't really think Atlanta Falcon fans probably watch the game, because, I mean, y'all don't watch games till like around week 10 or something like that when y'all team winning. But, I mean, just on to Indianapolis, man, so y'all can go ahead and get this L like y'all against Jacoby Brissett and go up against a real, true defense. And go up against one of the best offensive lines in football and let Jacoby Brissett, you know, slice y'all apart. So congratulations to Julio Jones for an incredible touchdown catch. Congratulations to Calvin Ridley out there, you know, 105 yards receiving. And, yeah.
Rise up.
And on that note, that's the NFC South review.
Yes, sir.
In the league, you know. Yeah. September, we're halfway through it. Let's see. I mean, we got 2 more weeks in September. You know, you got to grind this out. Week 3.
It's
here,
man. We really got to find the Atlanta Falcon representative, man. So
it's not like we haven't been trying. I mean, I'm not lying. Like y'all think that we just want to be biased. I mean,
no,
it's not true.
Can we put Dirty Bird?
I want to hear an opinion from Atlanta Falcon fan. I mean, I really honestly do. But once again, they fall through. It's like they do.
I'm gonna be quite honest with you, man. Reason why I don't care for the Atlanta Falcon fans because most of the time I can understand fans talking, about teams and stuff like that, but you got a lot of fans that hit low blows. And a lot of them started referring, talking about Hurricane Katrina, and that's something I don't roll with. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can talk about the Saints and not being good and all that kind of stuff, but when you're talking about the home, the home town and that's something like very, very serious.
Right.
So I don't respect anything like that. Like I seen like somebody had a sign, up one time I went to a game and they said the only breeze that's gonna be blowing is, Hurricane Katrina or something like that. They end up confiscating the sign. And that's something that always stuck with me, man. Like I've always like had respect for teams and stuff, but that just something always just stuck with me, man. I mean, I lost friends and family members, not to get all serious and stuff like that on there, but that's something that's very serious to me. So, I mean, that's why, I got like, some kind of personal, I don't want to say personal vendetta, but that's why I always had a problem with Atlanta Falcons. That and they don't really have real fans because I never see an Atlanta Falcon fan repping hard until they actually win a division, or they close to winning a Super Bowl. That's when I start seeing Atlanta Falcon fans coming up out the trees and out the woods and everywhere else. That's when I see them. So, but
yeah,
yeah.
Looked at them. That I don't want to get all serious on here, but that doesn't surprise me. Like I said, I always looked at the Atlanta Falcons, especially fans, like a poor man's, which will never even be Cowboy fan base. Like they just like you said, they always they disappear when their team is horrible. You don't see them standing tall, and when they're finally doing good, they come out of nowhere. And I'm like, I never knew I could be sitting next to you at my job in a cubicle, and you just throw a Falcons jersey. And I'm like, yo, where did you come from? Like it's honestly how it goes down, and I don't. It's crazy. But once again, I'll throw out there again. I mean, hit the inbox.
Yeah.
We definitely would love to bring on somebody that want to be critical and be a fan of the Falcons, and not gonna disappear, and that's that's a lot to ask.
It is. I mean, honestly, man, how long we been doing this show? I mean, we almost 3 games in.
Yeah.
And they have no problem with telling us, oh, y'all so biased. How come y'all don't have an Atlanta Falcon fan? But I'm like, I mean, we
really had 2 fall in on me.
I mean,
we've extended the invitation on every single show as of late.
Yep. I'm like, come on the show, so we don't have to find good things to say about this team.
Right.
Just gun you.
Yeah, exactly. I would be able, for me, okay, it's like, okay, we talk about our respected teams. We can find the pros and the cons, and then we have a person that's passionate about their fan base to give us their perspective. Okay, none of us have like an emotional investment in Atlanta Falcons. We basically just talking about them because they're part of the South. So I feel like if there's somebody out there, if you're looking at this podcast, you're looking at this video, and you're an Atlanta Falcon fan, please, hit us up if you want to be a part of it so we can have that perspective because, quite frankly, it's hard for me to try to think positive about a team that, I really don't care for, and I want to see fail more than any one of y'all teams. I want to see them fail. You know what I'm saying? Like, really fail. So, I mean, it's that camaraderie, you know what I'm saying? But I want somebody to have like a certain perspective because we all passionate about our teams. There are several individuals that are part of the teams that we root for that, we may not even know. Y'all know little tidbits about different players. And I think when we're talking about the Falcons, we're just going to be talking about the usual suspects, the superstars of the team. And, unless we like just go and investigate different stories and stuff like that to find, like I think what's the rookie offensive lineman name, McGarry, the one that
and Lindstrom's out.
So he has to go to a specialist to get his knee checked out. So I mean, but Atlanta Falcons, I mean, y'all need to rise up and hit us in the inbox,
right.
Okay?
I mean, and talk about Deion Jones, what he was looking out there. I mean, Neil. I mean, like I said, quiet. I mean, but Jones, I heard him make mention in the thing. I mean, I didn't think he did anything overly impressive, but they're continuing to talk him up as one of the best linebackers in the league, which I think he has been. But once again, come on here and just kill me for even mentioning there's a possibility that he ain't who he is yet or shown it yet. I want to hear
it. Me too. I wanted to see it. Like I just never seen a real Atlanta Falcon fan in week 3 of a season. I mean, I ain't never seen it. So usually I see him around wild card weekend, divisional round weekend. That's when I usually see him. I don't really see him like during the year. I might see somebody with a Vic jersey on, but
I saw it the other day. I promise you I was about to say that.
But who knows? I mean, a Vic jersey is like a Kaepernick jersey at this point. Like you don't even have to be a Falcon fan. Like you just go
just like Vic. You could just be a regular person on the street.
Like I got a pair of Michael Vick Nikes in my closet right now. You know what I'm saying? Like so.
I got a Vic jersey. I wish I got a Vic jersey.
Exactly. Like.
But once again, man, it's all jokes, but at the same time, we for real. Like, come on, like, hit the inbox, and really, honestly, we'll welcome you. And
why do we sounding like PBS right now? We sound.
I mean, we are. I mean, because we can't kill. Well, I'm not really saying kill, but like they're the ones right now making the most comments. I feel like we have to touch it.
We
sound telling you why.
We just sound like PBS, like we let's say it, like we have to bend. We got to bend.
I mean, because they say we're biased. They say we're biased. I mean, prove me wrong. We're gonna end it on that. We're gonna continue to kill y'all because y'all kill yourself too by the end.
Man. So this the wrap up for week 2, man. Interesting week. The division went 2-2, which was much better than it was last week.
So the rundown of the division. So the Saints 1-1, Falcons 1-1, Bucs 1-1 on top of the division, and the lonely Falcons, Mr. Lonely, I'm so lonely. I ain't got no ID.
We down there by the bottom.
It's all good. It's only week 2. But them numbers dropped tremendously going 0-2. You got like a 9% chance or something like that of making the playoffs. Some crazy.
I don't know, but I do know the Seattle Seahawks and somebody else went 0-2 last year, made the playoffs. So
yep. Hey, that year the Minnesota Miracle happened. The Saints started the season 0-2, and then they won 8 straight games, man. So you never know, man. You never.
I gotta give
you never know.
It's football, man. It's football.
For real.
Either Sunday or Monday, or in this case, past Thursday. We see y'all again, man. We'll see y'all again.
I will say this though, like before we wrap it up, Mike. Those are 2 tough games, man, because they were 2 home games. That's tough right there. So now y'all gotta win the majority of y'all games on the road, man.
Yep.
Y'all gotta get out there. Maybe being away from home and being away from the home crowd and rallying around one another is probably the recipe that they need for success right now, man. Because Carolina, I will say this: they always have a good defense. And they're too good of a team to basically be 0-2 right now. They should be 1-1, just like everybody else we are right now. I mean, no disrespect, Tampa, but I would have thought y'all would have been 0-2 around this time. I'm gonna be honest. No, I would have thought y'all would have been 1-1 because I wasn't expecting the 49ers to be as good as they were. So I was thinking like everybody would be 1-1 around this time. So, man, but they got to get it together. But Tampa Bay, I think that y'all have what it takes, man, to win a couple games. So that's not gonna be a shock. I think the light is start to come on for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, especially they get that running game going like they did on Thursday. So it's gonna be tough, man. And Drew Brees is not there. This is anybody's race right now.
Wide open.
The South has been shaken to its foundation with the loss of Drew Brees. Like everybody was saying that the Saints were just, going to win the division, but man, it's wide open right now. Not you.
Ain't no, I didn't have them winning the division.
Hey, you said they were gonna go 12-4. So how it go?
I didn't. You said 12-4. I said 10-6.
10-6, but they would you have the Carolina Panthers
11-5.
10-6, and winning the division.
Okay. So you had them having the same record.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the wild card, but since everybody else, DJ had y'all winning, you had y'all winning, so it was like for us as a group, y'all were gonna win it. But yeah. But now it's
the biggest hater of the Falcons. Y'all sit here talk about how much I hate the Falcons. I think I had them with the worst record. I was 7-9.
Yeah,
I had 9-7, and
I had them 10-6.
Yeah.
I had them 10-6. I had the Carolina Panthers 9-7.
Now you had us 8-8.
I thought I said 9-7. No, I said 8-8.
I remember that vividly.
That's looking better now.
I said 8-8.
Yeah, it's looking just like
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I thought I said 9-7. That's what I said.
Yeah, Tampa. Tampa had 9.
Okay. I thought I had Tampa at 10-6.
I think he had 10-6.
Nah, he had 9-7, and you said you wouldn't be surprised if they went 10-6.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. So and but I mine are actually looking. Well, DJ, yours wasn't too off, but mine's looking kind of good as far as the max number. I had 10. I don't think nobody in the South is gonna get more than maybe 10, 11 wins. I don't see it. But anyway, that's the wrap up, man, for week 2.
Make it this far, you guys are becoming real true friends of us, and we appreciate y'all for making this far.
Yeah, for real.
With your boy, I guess I'm DJ. Still no Twitter name. Signing out. Go Bucs. Wreak havoc. All that good stuff. I never say our slogans. Siege the day.
Because they lame. Anyway, your boy Mike Riggs, man. Keep pounding. You can hit me up at Mike Riggs 07 on Twitter, man.
Hey, it's your boy TJ Jones. All I gotta say is who that. You can follow yours truly on Twitter at TJ the Radio Guy. TJAY the Radio Guy. Good night, Atlanta.
Good night, folks.
Yeah.